Hey everyone, I want to welcome you to this video. I put together 3 clips, okay, in this video. The first one you're going to see is from Prophet Chris Reed from Peru, Indiana. And this is one I've shared before, okay? I believe on one of the other prophetic videos that I put together where I'm connecting the dots prophetically between what different prophets are saying. But I wanted to mention this one again and specifically highlight, okay, the part where Chris Reed, okay, talks about this encounter that he had, this vision that he had, where he saw George Washington, basically grabbing Trump's shoulder and speaking to him in this visionary experience and telling him that he's leading the second American Revolution. And as it was with Washington against the British, okay, against the tyranny that was coming across the ocean from Great Britain, okay, in 1776, he said, so it is with Trump in our day against socialism and communism. Okay, so very, very interesting. I believe this is a real word from the Lord. Another clip that I've released in this video is by Prophet Sadhu Sundar Selvaraj, okay, from India. Okay, I know Prophet Sadhu. I've ministered with him a few times. I've been to his studio in India to film with him a few times. I believe he's the real deal. And I believe he really had this encounter with the Lord. This was, I believe, from a few years ago, okay, when the Lord first spoke to him about Trump, okay, even going back to 2016, and he saw a vision, okay, of 4 American presidents, okay, that were in heaven, that were still praying for the United States. And he saw, in particular, George Washington in this visionary experience, his heavenly experience, step forward in his tears. Okay, he said he was still weeping and interceding, okay, for the United States, okay, in the same way that he had done while he was on the earth, even before he was the first president of the United States, when he was a commander in the Continental Army, even at, like Valley Forge, okay, when victory was slipping from his grasp, and many of his soldiers were dying from starvation in the elements, and literally the whole war was about to be lost. Okay, in those points, George Washington was a man of prayer. Okay, and he knelt before the Lord and he prayed daily and he wept on behalf of this nation. And Sadhu saw him in heaven still weeping. Okay, on behalf of the nation, interceding for this nation, and the Lord told him that the Lord gathers these tears, okay, and still hearing the prayers, even going back to our forefathers, even going all the way back to men like George Washington. And he relates it, as you're going to see in the clip, he relates this to Trump, and that Trump has been raised up even as a result of prayers like this. So I felt that was essential as well. You have another prophet making a connection between President Trump, okay, going all the way back to George Washington. I think this is significant, saints. I think what the Lord is really trying to speak to us right now is we need to understand the seriousness of the hour, okay? Because there's some Christians that are even just kind of letting things, fade, and letting think, looks like, Trump's just not going to prevail in the courts, and looks like we're just going to have a Biden, and we'll just have to find, some way to live with it or deal with it. But I believe the Lord wants us to know that we're living in days just like in 1776. Okay, we're living in days just like at the founding of our nation, when there was great conflict that came because of tyranny that was being imposed on the people, and God raised up a holy resistance. God raised up a godly, righteous resistance, and it was it was Commander George Washington at that time who led that resistance and became our first president. And it is Donald Trump today, whether you like it or not, whether you like the way he talks or not, the way he handles himself or not, God has chosen this man, okay, to raise up a resistance. Okay, that's what you're seeing in America right now. This is a resistance against tyranny. This is a resistance, okay, a blowback against the spirit of communism, the spirit behind socialism, that antichrist globalist spirit that is trying to take over our nation. Okay, this is a resistance against that against the elite ruling class that acts more like a monarch, okay, than an actual, constitutional, representatives that have been elected for the people, by the people, to do the bidding of the people. I mean, these people, they rule like dictators, literally. And the Lord's raised up Donald Trump, okay, because we've reached a point in America, and it is serious, saints. Once again, it's revolution. It's the second American Revolution. So don't think for a moment that this is just gonna, we're gonna transition and everything's just gonna be fine. We'll just have to find a way, to get along. Even though Biden could give us a little bit of heck. No, this is serious. This is conflict. This is something that the Lord has initiated with Trump. He's leading revolution. Okay, so I want you to think about this. When you listen to Chris Reed on this video, okay, understand what the Lord is talking about when he talks about revolution. Okay, this is not just big rallies. Okay, this is not just, we got some energy in the GOP base. No, this is a move of God. This is a resistance, I believe, against Satan himself and against tyranny. We need to understand the role that our president, President Trump, is playing right now, and we need to get behind him. We need to support him. We need to pray. Amen? And we need to do our part, okay, in resisting. Because, yes, we need to resist, okay? When we see things that are being done, that are unjust, that are wrong, we need to rise up and resist. Even though we're a people that follow the teachings of Jesus, and we're going to turn the other cheek, okay? I think that's personal. I think when Jesus spoke, turn the other cheek, okay, I think that's personal. I think that's one-on-one encounters. I think, me as an American, I believe I have a duty, a civic duty to my family, to my children's children that are going to come after me, and to my nation, okay, because this is a government by the people and for the people. And because of that, I have responsibility, okay? And I can't just sit back, okay, and not be a part of the solution. I can't just sit back and say, well, God will handle it. No, I've got to take my authority, which God has given me in this constitutional republic that he's blessed me with. So, anyways, be blessed by this video clip by Chris Reed. Be blessed by this video clip from Prophet Sadhu Sundar Selvaraj. And I'll see you guys next time. Bless you.
It was as if the whole nation and every state was looking at the state of Pennsylvania. The state, of course, that contains Philadelphia, which represents so much of the history and the founding of our nation. Philadelphia, of course, was the site of the First and Second Continental Congresses in 1774 and 1775. The latter of which produced the Declaration of Independence, sparking the American Revolution. I then saw a representation in Pennsylvania of our first president, President George Washington. And I then saw President Donald Trump come up and stand beside him, and George Washington put his arm around President Trump and spoke these words to him, quote, "You are leading the second revolution to free America from the grips of socialism. And the whole nation is looking to Pennsylvania once again to declare independence from the growing influence of socialism, radical ideology, and an antichrist agenda to restore it back to its founding and to truly keep America great." And from that, I said, I believe there is a spiritual warfare surrounding the state of Pennsylvania in regards to the 2020 presidential election.
Your forefathers, when they founded this nation, now I want to honestly tell you, I've never read very deeply into American history. Whatever I'm sharing with you now is what the Lord has showed me about this nation. Your forefathers, starting from George Washington, they dedicated this land to the living God. I have personally seen in a vision Mr. George Washington kneeling down and crying with tears, praying with tears unto the living God. And his tears rolled down from his eyes and fell on the sand on the ground. And I saw the hand of the Lord come down from heaven, scoop up the wet sand and take it up to heaven and placed before him. Each time the Lord wanted to judge America, the tears in the sand cries out to God. The tears cry out, Lord, remember, spare this nation, spare this nation. And because of the covenant that your forefathers made with the Lord remembers the covenant he made with your forefathers. You have had righteous presidents in this nation. Mr. Trump is the 45th president, right? So in the 45 presidents you have had, if not all, there were some. At least I know 4, because I've seen these 4 presidents in heaven, and they pray for the United States still today, because they have been appointed to pray. I recognize 2 of them, the other 2 I could not recognize them. But at least there are 4 righteous presidents in the United States, in the history of US so far. And their prayers is what has stopped the hand of God from bringing judgment. So now, God has given this nation a period of grace. You all knew what happened the first term. By all count, Mrs. Hillary Clinton should have won the election, right? She should have been your president. She should have been. But at the last moment, there was a turn. Am I right, everybody? Yes. At the last moment, the balance tipped. Who tipped it? God tipped it. Not the Russians. Not the Russians. It's the finger of God. The very finger that wrote the 10 Commandments. The very finger that appeared in Babylon to write Mene, Mene, Tekel, Upasin. That finger tipped the balance in favor of Mr. Trump. Why? Because of God's destiny for this nation.
Hey, I want to thank you for watching this video on my YouTube channel. Be sure to click the button over here and you can subscribe to our channel and get all the videos that come available right when we release them. Or you can click this button right here and watch another video right now. God bless you.